Casey.
Hello.
Well, maybe I missed something because I showed up and I was the first one. I thought I was running late.
Just a minute late
Yeah.
by my clock. See if it's just us. How's life on Mars?
Oh, fine.
Do you have a rotating set of Zoom backgrounds?
I wish it rotated. No. I've changed it a few times. Well, oh, you saw the other one
So there's a
yesterday.
different one yesterday.
Yeah, no, I was trying to flip it around occasionally.
Yeah, we're not on Zoom calls often enough that I know exactly how often you change it. I just noticed it was different.
Yeah, no, I usually don't have one. I usually just have the blur. But
Mhm.
my wife and I had a call the other day, and I knew blur probably wouldn't work with two of us, so I actually have well, not really a green screen, but a giant green piece of felt that I have hung behind. That's why you can also see over.
Yep, the
Where
little
can I
corner
point?
there.
Yeah, there.
The felt doesn't come
and
all the way down,
and
huh?
this is over here is light shining through the window, lighting the back of it. It makes it, I guess, enough different colored.
Nice.
But yeah, I put that up because I knew that would work for two of us.
Screen's pretty cool. I wish I had one here. I get really frustrated by the blur taking up
Yeah,
my headphones. Like
yeah,
not quite fitting.
yeah, yeah. When I use the blur, I have a like on the ground or on the floor. I don't know, one of the sides of me. Uh, like I have this red like jacket that's laying there, and I don't know, thinks it's a head every once in a while and becomes unblurred for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Nishar.
Hey, hi Casey. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hi Eric.
Hey, how's it going?
Don't know if we're
Everything
gonna
is
have a
good.
huge turnout today. Um, we'll give it a few minutes and see who else shows up.
Okay.
But we can just chat about whatever, like green screens and Zoom backgrounds.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna close my door.
Yep.
My son's home for the summer, and he gets kind of, even with his door closed, he gets pretty loud, yelling at whatever game he's. Well, not really yelling at the game, usually talking with his teammates.
Right. Yep. I remember those days. Back then, I would be logging the phone line all evening rather than using presumably some sort of over IP communication service.
Yeah, they're a lot better these days.
Looking like it might just be us. Um, so I guess maybe we can jump straight to Nishar if there's anything you wanted to talk about or discuss, or if you have any questions for us, we can do a little chat about that. Um,
Nothing. I mean, I'm very pretty new to Calico, so I'm still in learning stages. So it would be helpful if you have some suggestions.
Sure. What are your goals at the moment with Calico?
Uh, Not sure. I want to involve mm, mainly into the open source. So I thought so Calico was one of the leading network plugins. So I thought I can get into the open source by contributing to the Calico.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure. So where should I start?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, I think there's a few ways to get involved. For one, there's a whole bunch of GitHub issues that are labeled with help wanted or um, good first issue, I think are the two labels that we use kind of inconsistently. And those are generally good options if you want to contribute code, to look for those and sort of start there. And then once you get a little bit more
So,
comfortable with the code base,
so yeah, understood. So are those all the coding issues, or can we involve in something else? So what are the prerequisites?
prerequisites for contributing code.
Correct.
Um, I mean, it's really just, I assume you've got a GitHub account and familiarity with Golang to some extent.
Okay.
Um, and when you submit a PR, it'll ask you to sign a contributor agreement, which is just a virtual thing. And those are the main like prerequisites. I would say for any PR that you want to submit, it's usually best to discuss it with a reviewer in advance so that you can get the right design or approach for it. So you can ping us on the issue and we can discuss there. Or if you're in Slack, you can go. There's a Calico Slack that has a contributors channel in it. Sorry, I feel like I'm losing my voice. A contributors channel in it where we discuss these things as well.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah, the main thing would be to pick an issue, discuss um, the solution to it with a contributor who's got reviewing rights or one of us, then submit the PR and sign the contributor agreement. We'll review it, make sure tests are passing, make sure that any new tests that need to be written are written, and then we'll merge it in. And from there, you can also potentially decide to backport it to a patch release if it's an appropriate bug fix.
Okay. Yeah. And maybe I'll start looking into the GitHub.
Do
Yeah,
you know where?
that's a good.
Oh, sorry. Do you know where your interests lie? Because like there's the operator, and then there's the Calico repo, and the operator is kind of like how Calico gets installed and upgraded and stuff. But like, the Calico repo would be more like the networking and network policy. Um, but I think it's pretty much probably just those two repos that you'd probably be
At
interested
the
in.
moment, so I don't have any particular interest, so I'm okay with to get started. So maybe I'll start with the easy ones, maybe slowly, so I can involve into the more complex tasks.
The reason I was mentioning that is because in the Calico repo, well, there are issues in both the Calico repo and the Tigera operator repo. They both have issues that are unique to each of them. So that's just why I was just asking that, because you can look in both.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look and maybe I'll get back to you.
Yeah, and I would say, like, even before selecting an issue, you may just want to get comfortable building the code and running the tests locally,
Hmm.
just to make sure you've got all the sort of developer environment things set up. There's not a ton of dependencies, like you think you need Docker installed and maybe a couple other tools, but it'll be a lot easier if you can start from a working state that you know that you can build the code and you can run the tests
Yeah,
before you start the Kubernetes.
do we have any document to get started?
Yeah, let me grab the link to that. In the Calico docs, there's a developer guide. It's can't guarantee that it's fully up to date, but one of the things that would be super helpful for us is if you as a new developer went through that and fixed any anything that's wrong with it. And that's a pretty easy PR to make. So I just put some links in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
It's pretty minimal, but it shows. Yeah, I can already see that it's a little bit out of date. Like some of the links in it are broken. So maybe I'll also spend some time looking at this today. But starting there is a good place. And if you want, I think a great first PR just to get familiar with the process and get the contributor agreement set up is to just update this developer guide to match reality.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look into developer guide. So how frequently we are, having these meetings?
So these meetings are once a month. And really just a general sync up for anybody who wants to come and chat about something. We also tend to give some updates on releases and stuff, but right now we're sort of in a lull between releases, so there's not a ton to say there.
Okay.
But it's a good place to come and talk about in progress work or issues that you're having, or if you just have something you want to pick our brains on in a live chat, this is the place to do it.
Yeah, understood. Got it.
I think these are always the second Wednesday of the month.
Second Wednesday. Okay, got it. Okay, that's all I have. Maybe I'll start looking into the developer guide. Maybe from the next meeting. So I may involve very
Yeah,
actively.
that would be great. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Casey.
And if you want, you can always reach out to me on GitHub or Slack or any of us.
Sure.
Are you in the Calico users Slack?
Yes, yes.
Great.
Yes, I am.
Yes, that's a good place to find us.
Okay.
Like I said, there's a contributors channel. That's a good place just to talk about in progress work.
Okay.
Yeah, I see you joined it. Hello, Lance.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, good. We're just having a nice little chat. I think there's not a whole lot to talk about in terms of releases since we sort of just got the release out the door, and the next one's probably not until October timeframe. For the
Yes,
next
although I think there was a
minor
patch
Yeah.
release planned soon.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only one to talk about, which is 3.27.4, I think, which will be mostly CVE fixes and a few smaller bug fixes. I think the primary motivation for that is just to proactively put out some CVE fixes from the Golang update.
I seem to recall a Calico user complaining about not being able to use 327 or 328 because of failures to what looked like to me failures to backport fixes we'd already done. I might go and dig that thread out and link it to you so we can make sure we have all of those in the next 327 patch.
Yeah, that would be good if you find all of the fixes that we should backport. Now's the time to do it.
Yep.
You didn't just tell them to upgrade?
Well, they couldn't because not all the fixes. Some of the fixes were in master, but not in 328. A different set of fix was in 327, and so basically they tried all the different, highest numbered patch versions, and none of them were sufficient. And they all broke their system, which is not great.
Gotcha.
So yes, they were kind of grumpy, understandably.
Yep.
Wait, was that a Helm related one?
I don't recall. It was a few weeks ago now.
There definitely was a Helm issue where I think you saw this one, Eric, where the
Yeah.
manifests weren't getting updated from the operator repo.
Yeah.
We should definitely automate that.
Yeah, I mean, well, you mean like that nobody has to run it, right? Yeah. Because we do have it automated that but somebody has to run a command to do it, right?
Yeah, we need either something that automatically does it, or we need CI that makes sure it doesn't get out of date and fails if it's out of date.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a shame that we, basically the features that we worked on don't work because of that. So
yeah,
that's just a little thing. Pretty happy with that fix. Just to, toot my own horn a little bit. That fix to the service account deletion. Been chasing that for a really long time, where people were getting this error with unauthorized from the CNI plugin when just sort of out of the blue for no reason.
Oh, so okay, and that's the final. I saw that PR that Brian was I didn't take a look at it, but I know you're talking about finalizers. So it was that it wasn't even removing it. It's just
Yeah, so there were a whole slew of different bugs that were resulting in this sort of behavior over the last year and a half, primarily from when Kubernetes started changing the way that tokens expired, and we needed to update how we gave the CNI plugin a token.
yeah.
And I think all of those were fixed, and then people were still seeing this unauthorized error. And I got clued into it from one user who encountered it after like I think it was after like etcd corruption or a power cable being pulled out of a server, resulting in some invalid state. And when they came back online, the Calico CNI service account was terminating forever. It was still in the cluster, so it was never recreated, but it was terminating. And that led me down this path to realize that because we have that logic to keep those resources around when you uninstall Calico,
Yeah.
that if they happen to get deleted for a reason that isn't deleting the installation, they will go into finalizing state, but the operator will never remove the finalizer because it doesn't think that
Right.
the installation is terminating. And so the service account is being deleted. Kubernetes treats that as if the service account doesn't exist, which means that all the tokens for
Oh,
that
the
service
token.
account are invalid.
Okay, now I want to know what the, I guess I could go look at the PR, but what's the fix?
The
Because that sounds like that's what, well, I don't know. Yeah,
yes,
what's the fix?
the fix is that the operator needs to remove its finalizer if it sees that the resource has a deletion timestamp, but the installation does not have a deletion timestamp.
So it allows it to get deleted and then puts it back.
Yeah.
Do we have a watch on that service account? Or do we now?
We do, yeah. Well, I didn't check that we explicitly have a watch, but I tested deleting it and the operator immediately fixed
No.
it. So
So I wouldn't
pretty
have
sure
been
that
surprised if that was
doesn't seem
something
to.
we didn't have a watch for.
Yeah, I tested it on all of the resource, like the relevant resources with the finalizer. Yeah, and they were all put back right away.
Cool. Wow. Do Kubernetes docs suggest, do they make any recommendations for handling stuff like that with finalizers? Like if you're
In
going
the
to add a finalizer, do you need to watch that the thing that would make you remove it isn't happening and remove your finalizer so it can go back and get created again? That seems
I
like
think
a,
that we're just doing a sort of special thing here.
yeah. Oh,
I mean, or rather, we maybe aren't doing a special thing and our deletion logic was just bugged. Like, you need to make sure that you remove the finalizer when it's okay for that resource to be deleted. And this is just another case where it's okay for that resource to be deleted. It's perhaps one way to spin it.
I don't know. Feels weird. It's like the whole point of putting the finalizer is so it doesn't get deleted. Or well, no, I guess that's
In a
not
very
true.
specific
It's
case.
it's there to not get cleaned up before you clean something else up.
Yeah. Finalizer is only there so that it doesn't get deleted if the installation is being deleted. Like if other things are also being deleted.
Yeah. I mean, this is the exact. I mean, it's the exact use case that you use finalizer. That you're supposed to use finalizers for, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seems like anything that's using finalizers possibly needs this kind of logic is the thing I expect that would cause me to clean that up, is that case not happening, but my thing that I'm concerned with is getting deleted. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I suspect that most users of finalizers don't have this weird case where you can delete the thing and you don't want to take any actions. Like we have this case where the object with the finalizer is itself owned by something else. I think that the standard use case is more that you put the finalizer on the ultimate owner of your resources. You delete it, some controller sees it's deleted, cleans up some other stuff, removes the finalizer.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, I'm hoping that the NF tables data plane first draft goes in to master in the next couple of weeks. I've just been working through Felix FE tests. I'm down to the last, I haven't checked this morning, but I would expect it to be below 10 failures at this point out of almost 600 tests that we run. So, so close, really getting there. And then it'll be time for Sean to tell me that it's all wrong after.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been down in that code.
This is the most time I've spent in a lot of these places. But I feel a lot better about diagnosing Felix FVs than I did before.
How do those? Well, actually, I guess are the FVs that there are multiple in the CI runs? There's multiple groups, and it's like group 1, 2, and 3, or whatever. Is that the FVs? FVs? How are those groups created? Are they just like manually all assigned to one?
No, I think that's a feature of Ginkgo.
Oh, okay.
You can specify batches and it will assign tests to a batch. So you don't have to like think about that when you're writing a test.
Of
Bummer,
course, when you
'cause
add a test, the particular hashing changes. So I think your batches get different tests if you've added one.
yeah, that's a bummer, and because I know we've got some places where we're not using Ginkgo, right? Or we've started moving away. I specifically know one place that is taking a long time to run that it would be good to have that segmenting.
It might, I mean, it might be in just native Go test as well. Like a lot of Ginkgo features are just built on top of Go test.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too surprised. I just haven't looked into it.
I think we can wrap this up because I actually have another meeting that I'll go to if we're not in
Yeah,
this.
I think we are about done here. Cool. So the next one will be June, July. Second Wednesday is the 10th of July. See you
Cool.
guys then.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
And thank you. Bye.